For 35 years, the Industry Hills Charity Pro Rodeo has been an annual fixture for the families in the San Gabriel Valley. Over 35 years, we have seen lots of changes, from humble beginnings to a 3-day event we now know and love. We've hosted thousands of attendees, watched hundreds of cowboys and cowgirls compete, and raised millions of dollars for children's causes right here in our own community. This is the story of Industry Hills Charity Pro Rodeo.
The first rodeo was held in 1986 and was planned just in 2 months. It was amateur cowboys. The purpose of the foundation at that time was to raise funds for the Delhaven Community Center.
Delhaven Community Center started in 1972. I think every child has a God-given right to develop to his maximum potential. So we just decided to start a 2-week day camp. At the end of the day camp, the kids kept saying, "What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" So we decided to start a Tuesday night recreation, which by the time school started, we had about 125 kids every Tuesday.
A friend of mine, Tom Moreland, the owner of Western Insurance Marketing, he came to me and he said, there's this organization in La Puente that has a lot of need, and we need to raise some money for it. So that was Delhaven. And we said, let's have a fundraiser. And they said, well, we've got somebody coming in to talk to us about how to raise money. So the lady came in. She says, okay, I have an idea for fundraising. We're going to do a rodeo. You mean with cows and horses and all those kinds of things? And cowboys? And he said, yeah. So that was the beginning of the Industry Hills Rodeo.
When the rodeo first started back in '86, I was just a scrawny college kid working at Delhaven. The arena was much different. There was no arena, basically. It was just an outdoor area, dirt area. We had some carnival games, a few food booths.
The first rodeo was successful. The cowboys had a good time. They found it was worthwhile.
And when it was all said and done, we had raised, I think, $3,500, which was quite a bit at that time. But the most important thing is everybody got so enthusiastic about the rodeo, they wanted to try it again the next year. And of course, the next year it became a professionally sanctioned event from the PRCA. It became a 2-day affair, a Saturday and a Sunday.
PRCA is the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, which all the cowboys that participate in rodeos belong to. When we became a PRCA rodeo, it was right near the very beginning. They legitimized the rodeo.
Then we saw Mike Barnes of Nuevo with a mark of 4.6 seconds in steer wrestling.
We always had the top of cowboys in all the different events come to our rodeo. And so we had a good rapport with the cowboys. We had a good rapport with the community.
As we got better and our facilities began to improve, we started getting vendors to come along. More and more people started coming. It became what it is now, a great community organization.
In 1989, we added our first Community Kids Day, in which we invited local 3rd and 4th grade students and provided them with a work booklet. For many of those children, it was their first exposure to a rodeo, to the Western tradition.
The organizing committee for the rodeo was called Delhaven Foundation. But as they looked to distributing funds to other community organizations, the name was changed to the Gabriel Foundation.
The 35th anniversary is a good time to look back and see what's been accomplished, and really to honor the people that had the vision and the courage to begin the whole process and to keep it going.
Because my parents started Delhaven, so I've been involved with that since I was 7 years old. Been involved in the rodeo for 35 years since day one. I've been fortunate to be surrounded by amazing role models.
We would not have had a first rodeo if all of the original foundation members, including Western Insurance Marketing, hadn't financed it. Tom Moreland at Western, Dave Perez at Valley Vista, City of Industry Disposal at the time, Ken Rammel, who had an independent CPA firm, Bob Pacheco, a local attorney, Carl Bennett at Pace Lithographers. We even had a car dealer, Ed Butts, that used to be up the street. The original sponsors, they kind of all threw money in the pot. Without their generosity and willingness to take a risk, we probably wouldn't have the rodeo today. And I might say that all of those original sponsors have continued their participation in one form or another for 34 years. They were people of integrity that really cared. They cared about the mission.
It was very amazing to me that you could get a group of people from all these diverse areas, business, schools, community, other service organizations, government agencies, to participate and to put together this type of a function. But when you explain to them it's for the kids, they all kind of gravitated to it.
The Gabriel Foundation is extremely thankful for what City of Industry has done for us over the years. The Industry Manufacturers Council has been very helpful. Without them, I'm sure we would not have been able to succeed. They wanted to do for the community as much as they could.
And boy, I'm going to tell you what, we got a lineup of who's who in rodeo here tonight, as well as tomorrow at 2 o'clock as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody, all right?
This is one of the largest events in this area, and it's a 3-day event, and it offers something for everybody. There's, the rodeo itself. There's a dance for younger adults on Saturdays. There's a formal dinner on Fridays. There's things for the children in terms of petting zoos and pony rides and other stuff like that the kids can do. It is a fun, safe, affordable event for families to come to. Combined with they know their money is going not to some business profiting, but back into our local community. That, I think, is why we've, for 35 years, have done so well. The rodeo itself is a great event. It affects many lives. We have 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people come through that event. You look at the $75,000 to $100,000 that's given out because of it to our local community every year.
Do you know that every penny that is brought into this rodeo goes back to your community? That's pretty cool, isn't it?
The rodeo's two main beneficiaries are now the Delhaven Community Center and the Sheriff's Department Youth Activity League.
It is just an amazing event, an amazing relationship for Delhaven, other charities, and just for our community in general. The rodeo's been a part of Delhaven's life for 35 years. Our whole purpose is making a difference in our community, providing programs and services that meet the needs of our local community. City of Industry's Youth Athletic League is an amazing program. I think they're going into 35 years of service. They basically work on developing relationships within the community with our families, with our young adults, side by side with the sheriffs and the officers.
The rodeo also distributes funds to community organizations that focus on the service for young people in the San Gabriel Valley. Organizations like the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA and their summer programs, New Horizon Creative Group, Friends of Heart, San Gabriel Valley Health Dental Foundation, Intimate Health Foundation, and others.
Distributing $2.4 million to organizations that do such a vital service is kind of neat in itself, and I think very worthwhile. But also the rodeo's had an impact on the community. I don't know how many thousands of 3rd and 4th grade students have watched the free rodeo performance over the years.
Kid and I last year became the co-chairman. Last year's rodeo was one of the best rodeos we've had. If you look at the numbers financially and the numbers in attendance and everything else. This year we had big plans. This is our 35-year anniversary, COVID-19 pandemic year. Obviously we will not be holding a rodeo this year. In terms of moving forward, next year will be our 36th year. The second week in October we'll continue with our rodeo.
And we couldn't do it without the leadership and the guidance of a great committee, some 40 members strong.
We have over 400 volunteers that help put on the rodeo, and we draw them from all areas of the community, and there's a real sense of camaraderie, I think, that develops with that.
Putting together a rodeo is a commitment of a group of people to do something that they feel is important for the community. I want to say to them, thank you for all the years, for volunteering, for helping, for giving your money, for coming to the rodeo, for talking it up, for doing everything that is helpful to the community and benefits all these young people that need help.
I tell everybody, my favorite weekend of the year is that week of the rodeo. It is just an amazing experience that the volunteers, the kind of the family unit that we've developed, the friendships, the support that we give each other, knowing that you're out there working for a good cause alongside good people. It's a tremendous amount of hard work. When you're done through that weekend, you're exhausted. It's just an amazing week of just friendship and fun and support. You know you're doing something that's making a difference in our community. Putting all that together, to us, that's how we measure the impact. The fact that we're still standing, that those in our community, our families, our businesses, our cities, still support us as they believe in what we're doing, that to us says we're doing something right.
The impact that the Industry Hills Charity Pro Rodeo has had in the San Gabriel Valley over the 35 years is immeasurable. But one thing that we do know, the work must continue and the rodeo will go on as soon as it's safe to do so. We hope that you'll join us for 2021 and make many, many more years of success after that.